We done got completely off track. This man J Red Violent right now. Please spark that up.
Oh, okay. Wait, well, it's a must,
I
please.
really want to get another beer, but we done got so far off track. We done forgot we was talking about Bad Boys.
Right. That's
and we ain't even made it. Past
That's right.
We ain't even made it past the first one.
I've been saying right too much. I'm gonna end that. I'm gonna be better.
I gotta say, I think I'm ready to move on because it's not honestly, man. I mean, I know you say you put it up there. I thought that movie was just alright.
Go. Give me your thoughts.
I knew that I set my expectations way too high for Will Smith and Martin Lawrence to come together.
That's where you messed up. Point number one. Go ahead.
But
Continue.
But why? But how couldn't you?
What do you mean? First of all, Bad Boys, we supported as black people. Let's just keep it 100.
Yes,
and it's an
why
action.
it was great.
Right. It's an action movie.
That's the moment. Why? That's why it's great right there. You just explained it. But it's not a great movie because of that.
It's a good movie
it's
because
a great moment because of that.
It's a great movie because it's got Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. And I think in the 90s, those were the two major cats that was killing the game. Those were powerhouses right there. You know what I'm saying? So it hit different in 95 than it did in 2004. Now in 2004, you also got to understand it's a package deal with, Bad Boys. You got the soundtrack. You got, everything that comes with that. With everything's hot with that. You know what I'm saying? So you got Diddy with Nelly doing the Tail Feather song. You know what I'm saying? And then you got them just
every scene.
And
okay, so all right, so we done moved on to Bad Boys 2 now. All right.
Yeah, that was Couple of Grape Sodas. Come on, that was classic.
I absolutely love Bad Boys 2. That is, but it's so much better than the first movie by a very wide, large margin. There's a huge gap between those movies, man.
That's what it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be. I think they just kind of was focusing a lot more with the action in the first one. You know what I mean? And it was funny for that time. Again, they keep making them.
They weren't as big of star. I mean, Will was, but Martin wasn't as big of a star at that point.
What?
He wasn't. He was coming back from.
I'm not saying
he was coming back from being crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like he had that. I don't remember the specifics, but he talked about it in Run Tell That.
He was big in the black community, dog.
Of course, that's not what I'm not denying that.
He wasn't as maybe universal as Will Smith. How about that? But
he wasn't as universal. But what I'm saying, in spite of that, they still didn't
Will put like Bad Boys and then Independence Day like right after that? Shortly after that?
Independence Day was 97. Bad Boys 1.
Independence was like 96, right?
He might have been 96.
He could have been.
I thought it was 97. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Independence Day was right after, a year or two after.
All I'm saying is, I feel Bad Boys 2 definitely was better than Bad Boys 1, which is supposed to be. You wanted to progress. I mean, it was a little bit more funnier to me.
It was a lot more funny. There are so many more quotables.
Right.
There are so many more quotables in the second movie than there are in the first. I don't remember any super hilarious scene from the first movie. And I think that's why Bad Boys 2 just completely dwarfs it. It's not just better. It's not just a little bit better. I mean, they're completely different, like, realms to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, Bad Boys 2 is fucking hilarious. That movie
it's definitely funny. But the third one, I didn't have it high expectations. I just like, it's a third installment. You know what I'm saying?
My dudes.
I'm gonna
go support. But I knew that the way Will was talking about it, that they were actually trying to go for a story this time. And I think that they succeeded at that better than the other movies. It was the best story. It was the most memorable story. And it was actually a really good story.
Yeah, but
the comedy wasn't really there. It had its moments. Martin still, even in his like relaxed, somber, because he seems like more chill.
Yeah, Martin didn't come with it like that. You know what I'm saying? He did enough. You know what I'm saying? And I
wish you would do more. And
but they focused more on Will on this one. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's kind of how this one rolled.
And the team thing, they seem to be trying to chase that Fast and the Furious vibe. It looked like they're trying to probably gonna spin off with them at some point. You know that's what it looked. That's what they're shaping this up for.
I see. I mean, well, they're making another one, right? They're making another Bad Boys, right?
I mean, they
already said it's in the works, right?
They said that Bad Boys 3 and 4 have been in the works since 2010.
Oh, okay.
And it's been going up and down a whole decade. And they finally got the third one done 10 years later. They might be talking all this shit now, but you just gotta let it play out.
You just never know how.
You gotta let it play out in Hollywood. I mean, it sounds like this ago, but they've been talking about both these movies for a minute.
Well, to quote the young lady who was not obeying the movie rules, the movie did kind of reek of Gemini Man,
With the over the top action, they was trying to reach Michael Bay, but they got more.
Well, not necessarily in the over top of the action, but more so the storyline. It's a younger me. Becoming that type territory.
Yeah,
and that's a good point to point out. I've thought personally, however, I thought it was the wrong time to really be saying that out loud while I'm watching the damn movie with my wife. but we won't go on that. But it was a good movie. I think it turned out well. I think it had a lot of nice twists and turns. It was a good action movie. I think if you look at it like this, the first one was all about the action. You know what I mean? And then the second one, had more of the funny and action. And I think the third one wanted to kind of return more to kind of the storyline.
The third one had the best plot twists.
True.
It was like rapid fire with the plot twist. First, Will got shot. The chief got killed. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude ended up being his son. Like, dude, it was just banger after banger with the plot twist. I enjoyed that moment. I enjoyed those moments the most in that movie.
Definitely a dope movie. I will give you that. So, grade right now, A, B, C, D. What would you give it?
It's Bad Boys 2 at number 1. It's 2-3-1. Maybe I'm harsh on. Maybe I need to watch one again after seeing 3, but it's 2-3-1.
Yeah, I can roll with that.
So
I'll roll with that. I'll say the same. But it was good. We'll see what they do with the fourth one.
That's when they're gonna start stumbling. Because they was talking about, they was like, man, they got the fucking stuntmen to do all their work. I'm like, okay, all right, so what y'all gonna do in another like 5-10 years when this next one come out? Shit, niggas gonna be 60.